Karmelo Anthony has officially been indicted by the grand jury and officially faces first-degree murder for the unalivement of Austin Metcalf. So, white folks, you guys got exactly what you wanted. And more than likely, he's probably not going to be found innocent because, well, we know why. Whether you guys like it or not, agree to disagree, I still feel that he defended himself. It was self-defense in my eyes. That's how I feel. It is what it is. But I don't make the law. I don't make the rules. I can only give my opinion.
Wow.
I'm going to keep it 100. Now, I'm against judging a book by its cover and all that. When you have this many piercings in your face, it just disqualifies your opinion as like to be taken serious. Like, I cannot take what you're saying on this video seriously because you just don't look like a person that makes rational decisions. Like, why is your face this pierced up?
Okay, that's one. But let's just listen to what he said.
True statement, though.
But that was just my first comment before I said about the
that was everyone who watched this video's first.
That was just my
as
thoughts.
As soon as we saw him, we were like, okay. Does he look like a reputable source?
Yeah,
No.
you should have thought that. But I'm gonna be real. This is how a lot of black people are feeling.
Well,
so
I got
let's
You're
take
right
it there.
about that.
Well, we have to keep it 100 though. This kid brought a weapon to a school event and stabbed and killed another student. Take race out.
Look,
when
though.
you hear a student brought a knife to a track meet and stabbed and killed another student,
They seem to
It's
know
over.
that. They know that.
it's over.
These pro-black people are the people that think Karmelo is right or he defended himself. They know all those facts.
Delusion.
You know why? You know
That's
why they
pure
think that?
delusion.
Black people are the kings and queens of sheep mentality. If one black person thinks something, votes a certain way, takes a certain opinion, all of the black people will do the same, especially if you question their blackness if they disagree.
I also, to that point, I just think, to me, I understand it as people are supporting this because he's a young black kid and it was something that happened with the white kid. And I think at the simplest level, that's why people are saying this. They're just choosing the side of the black kid because he's black.
And because
That's
all the
what
other
I
black
think.
people said so.
Is this
I
a
think
reverend?
so.
Is this a reverend that tweeted this?
This guy's a meme page.
Oh, okay. Well, you can't take a meme page too serious, but this is how a lot of people are feeling. So let's get into the story, though, guys. So today they indicted Karmelo. Basically, the grand jury said they feel like it is enough to possibly charge Karmelo Anthony with first-degree murder. Wow. Like, out of all the back and forth, the different opinions, I was like, I don't know what the hell gonna happen. I mean, I knew that from being in track that it's just impossible to stab another student at a track meet. That's just what
Like, you didn't come to the meet thinking about running if you brought a knife.
Yeah, that's just what my opinion was.
You were not thinking about running if you brought a knife to the track meet.
So
what?
It's just
was
like,
he running? Did we ever figure that out? Was he running at the meet?
running.
He was. They were both running.
Yes,
they went to.
He was running at the meet and you brought a knife.
They're both
What
athletes,
type of
bro.
guy does that? I've never met no one who does that.
I also have to keep it 100. And at every school event, if you go to like a school property sporting event, there's always the no weapon sign. So when you take into account that he's going to a school event and he had a weapon, and you went into a facility with a no weapon sign,
It's racist.
and you sat in the other team's area and they asked you to move and you stab him and kill him. Take race out. Just listen to that as person one and person B.
Doesn't sound right.
That doesn't sound right. So I have to say the facts. You
Guys,
shouldn't have stabbed this man.
Even if he was trying to fight him,
Exactly.
fights happened every day, especially with high school boys.
Yeah.
But to kill?
You would just have to run track or experience what track is, like the event is, to know truly how bad this is.
This-
You
horrible.
woke up, you grabbed your spikes, your jersey, your warm-ups, your water, and a knife?
You want to know something?
Like, imagine doing that. Who
wanna-
does that?
This is bad.
You want to
bro.
know something? So you know how you just listed the items for a track meet. I saw people trying to say, "Oh, it was a track spike sharpening tool."
They don't have those.
They don't have those. Once
You
your
get
track
new
spikes
spikes.
are dull, you have to take them out.
So they're trying to say
cannot
that was the
say-
wrench.
they're
They're trying to say that was the wrench?
Yes,
spike
it's a
wrench.
wrench. It's flat. You cannot stab someone with a track spike wrench.
See, I ain't hear that. I heard people say
Google
that.
one.
They were running with that on TikTok.
wow.
I seen some tweets on X. I'm like, what are y'all? Are
now,
y'all for real?
Like, just make that
y'all
make
will
sense,
believe
though.
anything to justify what you want to believe.
That's like going to a football game with your helmet, your pads, and a knife.
Yeah,
That doesn't make sense.
It
I
doesn't
was
make sense
hearing
at all.
some people say it was like something from the tent that could stab. I'm like, does that mean that these
He pulled a knife in his back. He said, "Touch me, see what happens."
Yeah,
Black
bro.
He pulls it
Hold
out
on, though,
and
hold on, though.
stabs
Threatened
him.
Oh, that's gonna really screw him right there.
That means that black people are so traumatized that y'all created a story to justify an actual killing.
It's interesting. Like they trying to say it was all those items, but in the official police report that was released the day after, it said they found a knife.
But you know, I'm not surprised.
A knife was found at the scene with blood on it.
I'm not surprised. This what niggas fill their mind with every day for entertainment purposes anyway. If we keeping it real, niggas killing other niggas.
Damn.
And they justify the shit all the time.
Yeah.
So you know, I'm not surprised. But that's the damn truth.
It
Because
is
this
the
shit is
truth.
crazy, man.
It's sad,
Shit's
but it is the
insane.
truth.
And you know, it's also been reports, wish I can find it, Taj just said it, that it was actually no altercation at all.
I saw
No
that
altercation?
Yeah, I saw someone reacting to the film, and they said that all you see is a quick boom, boom. Like it wasn't really much of a
Build up.
yeah. That's what I saw as well.
Like he just crashed out. Like it's weird, man. It's super weird, man. People
Didn't someone a girl at school say he's known for fighting?
You know what though?
Really?
Didn't we see that? We reacted to that or something, didn't we?
Yeah,
No.
it's somebody at Carmelo school.
Nah, I really
That's what I'm
think
talking
about
about.
it. What if racism won't end? It's because niggas are dumb.
All right,
Hold on though. So if black people, if situations,
But not all. Hold on. Again. Disclaimer, y'all. Disclaimer.
Not
When
all.
we say niggas, that's different than black people.
These people that are justified.
These are two different races
look
of
though.
people at this point.
Imagine how many situations like this possibly could have happened, you know, throughout the history of time and in the world and of the United States. And if they're just quick to call racism on something that they were totally wrong and this kid was totally wrong and they're going to call racism, that means that there's nothing that white people actually could do to solve racism.
We knew this already.
This is plain out dumb. So if niggas gonna call racism, so then, you know, calling racism
The boy who cried wolf.
Might actually be
It turns
dumb.
into the boy who cried wolf.
it becomes
because we
dumb.
call every single thing racist. So now, since it's so overused, it's like when something actually
Stupid.
racist happens, how are we gonna?
Yeah.
You know, because
Is it
y'all call everything racist.
Is it stupidness?
Like the level of delusion with the racism stuff has gotten
Shit is
crazy.
crazy,
When we
bro.
saw the lady put the noose on her own desk, they tested every single person's DNA in the entire building except for one person. The ladies whose desk it was on. Can we get your DNA? No.
I forgot about that. Is it a mental illness?
It is a
it
form
a
of
mental
mental-
illness?
Sometimes, you know.
Keep us in the LGBTQ.
No, but look,
Wow.
I'm telling you, what did they do?
Not
It's
mad at
because
it.
the
Wow.
Democrat Party had to free the slaves. So what did they do? They mentally enslaved them and made them convinced that they are still slaves and they still don't have a chance.
ooh, that was
That's
a
what they did.
gem
It's
you just
crazy.
dropped right
It's-
there.
it's-
You
they
just
did.
dropped a gem right there.
Wow.
That's facts. I have to completely agree with that.
Earlier this spring, our community was shaken by what happened at a school track meet in Frisco. The violent loss of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. For weeks now, my team has been presenting evidence to the grand jury, and today I summarized that evidence, and I asked the grand jury to return a first-degree murder indictment against Karmelo Anthony, which they did. With this indictment, the case now moves formally into the court system. From this point forward, we'll continue doing our job both fully and fairly to pursue justice under the law. As for the scheduling of the trial, that will be up to the court. But when the time comes, we will be ready. Now, we know that this case has struck a deep nerve here in Collin County and beyond. And that's understandable. When something like this happens at a school event, it shakes people to the core. But let's remember that the justice system works best when it moves with steadiness and principle. That's what we're committed to, and that's what this case deserves. We're also mindful of Austin's family and everyone who loved him. Please keep them in your thoughts, and if you're willing, your prayers as well. Finally, let's remember that a defendant is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law.
Today's indictment of Karmelo Anthony is an expected and routine step in the legal process. An indictment is a procedural step that happens in virtually every felony criminal case. It's a document that lays out for both the prosecution and the defense. An indictment simply means that a grand jury, after hearing only the prosecution's side of the story, determined that there was enough evidence to allow the case to move forward to court. That's all an indictment means. Karmelo and his family are confident in the justice system and the people of Collin County to be fair and impartial. Of course, Karmelo looks forward to his day in court. It's only in a trial that a jury will hear the full story, one that includes critical facts and context that the grand jury simply didn't get to hear. It's only in a trial that both sides get to present evidence and cross-examine each other's witnesses.
He's getting charged.
Yeah, but will he be convicted is the question.
I think he's going to get charged with something. 100%.
Think about
Convicted.
this.
Yes, I think they're going to find something to convict him on.
Yeah, I
They-
agree.
100%.
They released the video. They seen the video. So
Oh,
they moved
the
forward
jury will
in the
see it,
case.
yeah.
No, they already did. That's why they're moving forward.
So they have video.
And they seen it, and they're saying, let's move forward because this looks bad.
He's getting convicted with
Look,
something.
Because if they didn't think it looked bad, they would have threw it out right there.
Yeah.
There wouldn't have been enough
So
evidence.
now-
Or they would have charged him with something else.
Carmelo's team is going to have to come forward and try to tell, a defense on what happened. And if it
Self-defense.
doesn't sound good, then
Self-defense. And what we heard from a lot of people, from lawyers, from police officers, from all type of people in Texas, self-defense has to be equal force. So if you come up to me and push you, I can self-defense with equal force. But if you push me and I stab you, that is not equal force, period.
yeah. See, the video was going to save them, and they seen the video, guys. So
I
it's
knew the
over
video
with,
was
man.
not gonna say
now. Yeah, that's what they thought, but now they're moving forward.
That's
so
what
it's
certain
over
people
with, man.
thought.
It's yeah. Certain people that don't know how attractive works, but hey, guys. Hey,
I remember we watched the one dude who said, "Oh, I was there. It wasn't even a school meet. It was just a community track
That
meet."
was pure delusion.
He was
bro.
not there, clearly.
There it is right there.
Austin
Look at his
and
hat.
apparently his
Yeah, I
brother
noticed that the first
come
time.
over
I
didn't.
to
Upside
Karmelo.
down?
Words are
Yes, I didn't notice
exchanged,
that.
I
and
did.
he says they tried to swing at him. Karmelo goes to his bag, and then they pursue. They continue on.
It was raining. It got rained out like crazy bad. Everybody trying to get back to their cars or get in, places where they, wouldn't get all extra wet. Dude was sitting up
funny,
under
though.
sitting up under the tent, right? He was on his phone, right? My daughters was up under the same goddamn tent. Yeah. So I'm paying attention to my kids, but at the same time, they're in the same vicinity. So I'm watching everything going on around it because I'm there for my children. So dude walks up. McKellen, bro, he wasn't even under the tent at the time. They came from a whole separate tent and walked over there. They intentionally went over there to this kid, man. Dude was sitting there on his phone just trying to get dry. You feel me? One thing went from another. They grabbed this man and they tried to punch on dude. Dude went in his bag and whatever. They went to try to jump this dude and punch on this dude, man. And he protected himself, dude. That's what happened. Yeah. It wasn't just one. It was both of them, bro.
yeah.
So I want everyone to take away from listening to this because this was a hard listen. I want you guys to understand this is a perfect example of how important it is to grow up and become articulate. So your kids don't sound like this guy because whether or not he is an intelligent person, when you communicate in this manner, you sound like an idiot. Sorry. That's my takeaway from listening to that.
The truth hurts.
It
I gotta keep it
listen,
100.
like,
That was rough.
just seeing this story, man, just like black people, they will truly believe not just anything. They're just in a deep situation,
Bro,
man.
people just
Mentally.
saw the case. They probably didn't read it
Someone
because
was saying free.
a lot of people don't read. So they probably cut it and they saw this. And since it's a black guy explaining what happened to a black kid, they probably were like, "Oh, that's what happened." But to me personally, I actually read what happened. I mean, I seen the reports, I seen the facts, and I looked at the whole scenario, and I take race out of it, and I said, "Hey, that was completely wrong." And now that I apply race, I still think that was completely wrong.
Yeah, this is the last thing I'm gonna say. This is the last thing. I actually, after today, I fully figured it out. We been knew this was the problem, but the problem is is black people just consume the wrong shit.
Man,
And it's going up because my dad, at first, I remember when I brought this case up, he was like, bro, he stabbed somebody at a track meet. Yeah, bro, I don't see how he gonna beat that. A month later, man, Karmelo defended himself, bro.
oh wow.
So it's like, I know if you
It's
hear
'cause that's
something
what
like
all the other
this,
black people said, bro.
If you hear stuff like this, it's just the word gonna get out, and now you're not black.
That's
and
the
and it's
okay.
like comes into
And
a
what did I
pride
just get
thing.
done saying earlier?
Yeah.
What did I just get done?
Yeah,
I
man.
just said the same thing. It's the sheep mentality.
Yeah, it's
if other
that.
black people,
They don't think for themselves,
especially
bro.
specifically if it's a situation where it's black versus white or anything with race. If you do not side with the black person as a black
You're not
person,
black.
then you are banned from the tribe.
Yeah.
It's extremely tribal.
And my dad's, he's not super tribal.
But it's the culture. It's the culture.
And I do too. But, you know, certain instincts, like certain stuff like this, you know, black people just got to side with black people. It don't matter if you made it out the hood or not. You got to side with black folks.
I gotta keep it 100 though,
This shit
man.
crazy, man.
I'm concerned for anybody who listened to this video of this man speaking and that convinced them that was really what happened. Because if someone communicates something to me like that, I'm not believing it.
But hold on. Hey,
I'm sorry.
I just don't
Dude
feel like
was-
we going to get...
Dude was under the tent. They was trying to punch on dude.
I feel like we're not-
okay.
I'm watching my kids, but I'm watching what's
Like, yeah, right, man. Okay.
At the end of this, I just don't feel like we're gonna be looking stupid at the end of this. Because look though, you know, Trayvon Martin, you know, George Zimmerman, they went to court behind
I
this.
feel like that's a different
Look,
situation.
but they still went to court, so the jury went on with the case with thinking that it could possibly something could happen. So you know, they perceived it, and you know, people.
It looks like-
it's a step into him getting charged, but he's not fully charged.
convicted. He's
So, you
charged.
know,
He's not
'cause
convicted.
George had a whole case, and black people was crying.
He did
about
not
that
get
shit.
convicted.
Black people was crying about it. He didn't. But I'm saying he still the jury still said not guilty.
Okay,
this
so
could
the
possibly
thing with
still
the
happen.
George case, though, the video is what got people there.
No, I ain't gonna lie. That one,
I don't know.
The
about
video
that.
can't
is
justify that
it's
one.
just not a
He
good
was
video.
wrong to me in that one for sure.
So-
not gonna lie.
Who?
George Zimmerman.
Oh, y'all talking about George Zimmerman?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
Like,
I
it's a
thought
lot
I
of
heard
cases.
George. I'm talking about Floyd.
Wrong George.
Dead ass. That's what I thought you was talking about.
Yeah. But I'm saying though, like, you know, it's still a possibility that this kid does get off.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
We could look stupid at the end of this.
How
Hey,
real
I'm
stupid.
still. My opinion's not gonna change.
My opinion is the same as what
My
it is.
opinion's not gonna change.
You know what?
Regardless of the outcome, that's how I see it.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah, but you know, they seen the video and they proceeded. So that to me does seem like he's finna get charged. But let us know what y'all think, guys.